This morning I opened the fridge and noticed that I have three cottage cheese containers, and I don't even like cottage cheese. There's this part of being Midwestern that I didn't really realize was part of our culture until you talk about it with other people and they're like, we don't do that around here. So, this is about church Tupperware, as my family calls it, and other sacred artifacts. So, growing up, we would have church potlucks and dinners and things, and there was always an abundance of food. And we didn't go out and buy special containers to send people home. We used the containers that we already have. So, you emptied a container of cottage cheese, you save the container and you send something home with somebody that they can enjoy later. So the notorious containers of the church potluck kind of philosophy, you've got Cool Whip tubs, cottage cheese containers. Yogurt containers, country crock tubs, all of these things that would otherwise end up in a landfill, but instead you get to fill them back up with food and joy and love and send it home with somebody. And this is such a part of my life, and food is such an integral part of how I express my love to others and how I internalize love to myself, especially when it comes to ice cream, that every time I go home to visit my family, I have a bag of church Tupperware that I've been saving as I finish up one of my Oikos Pro, yogurts, or I clean out the end of the butter tub, or if I actually have Cool Whip, I save that container too and I bring them home. And almost every time I go home, I end up coming back with something, some kind of food, some kind of memory that just takes me back to what it was like to be growing up in the family that I had. And if this isn't something that you do, I really just hope that you can appreciate what we're trying to accomplish here by sharing, community and love and everything through recycled Tupperware. It's the logic of, again, being frugal, where, why would I go out and buy a whole bunch of containers when I already bought the container? I used what was inside and now I get to keep it and fill it with something else. That's special. And especially when we're talking about, an age where landfills are, just so huge and their impacts to the environment are so big, to do small little things like this, to reuse Tupperware until it kind of has lived its full life. I mean, that's great in a lot of different ways. And I love that about myself, my family, my culture, that this is kind of the way that we do things. And I hope it's something that maybe you do too. And if you don't, maybe it's something you want to give it a try. The point of the church Tupperware is you can be frugal without limiting yourself. You don't have to save everything, but save the things that are worth using again. You can keep your values, but you don't have to have all the extra clutter. It's just about being resourceful and creative and laughing at the fact that when you open any specific container in the fridge, you might not be getting what you expected. I can't tell you how many times I opened a container, a country crock container, expecting, butter for my toast. And instead, it was potato salad from when I had just visited my family, because that's one of my favorites. So, being from the Midwest is something special. Church Tupperware will always have a place in my heart. And I may not keep every Cool Whip container anymore, but I'll always keep the part of me that knows leftovers are a love language. I hope you enjoyed this mini Midwest episode. I'll see you in the next one.